We're born into an environment where there's pain, there's trauma, there's hurt, there's secrets, there's abuse, there's neglect, we're abandoned, there's alcoholism, there's all sorts of dynamics that we're born into in this human experience is inescapable, right? And so two things happen with these bright beings. We're born into this conditioned box, a conditioned family, somewhat dysfunctional box and groove. And two things happen. The first thing is we start as children shutting down and suppressing parts of ourselves in order to not feel, because it's so painful. Dad is crazy. Mom is, not present. Dad is an alcoholic. Mom and dad are fighting. Whatever it is, mental illness. So because it's painful, we start shutting down parts of ourselves and our feeling capacity in order to not feel the pain of what is happening in this system. So we start shutting down, suppressing. All of the unfelt feelings and emotions start getting stored inside of our psyche and kind of begin to cover up, our pure light, our soul.
Yeah, right.
Essence. And so our soul kind of starts getting covered and buried under sort of layers and layers and layers of pain, hurt, guilt, trauma, shame that we've kind of learned to suppress growing up for survival. Then we start going into the world and we start also developing a way of being, the sense of who do I need to be in order to be loved by mom and dad? Who do I need to be in order to get my dad's love? Oh, I can be perfect. I can be a good son. I can be a preacher. I can be a nice boy. I can be a responsible one. Oh, so we start contorting ourselves. We start disowning parts of our authenticity, parts of our true soul's expression, and contorting ourselves to fit in, get love, be approved, be validated. So we avoid feelings, pain, hurt, guilt, and then we start contorting ourselves. And before you know it, we have contorted ourselves into a certain shape to really survive. That's it. It's pure survival. Avoid pain, get love. It's survival. And so we get so identified as this thing that we've learned to be that we think this is who we are. The version of ourselves that we've become. No, I'm just independent. I'm just angry. I'm just this way. This is just who I am. But the truth is who we are, who we really are, or is it simply who we've been conditioned to be? Most of us, we never question our conditioning. We just think this is me. And I'm simply saying, no, it's not. We are now either setting goals and a vision and a life based on the conditioned version of ourselves that is not you, the conditioned version of ourselves, or now we are in reaction to mom and dad, like, well, I'll never be like that, but we're still a conditioned version of ourselves. So it's like, I'm going to play video games. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. And we don't realize we're either conditioned in a certain way going towards something or conditioned a certain way in reaction to something, and we're not truly aligned. And so I don't believe it's necessary to control or force your kids or someone to be something. I believe that every single soul is pure intelligence. Every single soul is a manifestation of the divine, and inside of every individuated soul is its own intelligence that knows how to fulfill itself and its own unique destiny in this lifetime. The challenge is, the more we get conditioned, the conditioning prevents the flow of the natural soul's expression from organically, transparently, and fluidly expressing itself, because it hits all the layers of conditioning, so that pure light can't shine as naturally because we're contorted, and it hits all the contortions. And so many times people often feel like, I feel like there's so much inside of me that can't come out. I feel like there's so much love inside, because the contortion of our conditioned personality prevents the expression of our souls. And so what we try and do then, the challenge is, we maybe read books, we go to seminar, we get motivational, and we go, oh, I should be more like that. So now we have contortion upon contortion upon contortion, trying to be some other version of ourselves. But I really feel it's not about trying to make ourselves be anything. Your kids have an intelligence. if you are able to provide the space for your children, the space of loving, the space of compassion, the space where you as a parent see who they really are. Because your kids are constantly in a world where they're being reminded of who they're not, who they're not, who they're not. Media is telling them, you're not enough, you're not enough, you're just this body, you're just, you're this, you're that, you're not enough, you're not enough. But if you be this way, and so one of the greatest gifts we can give our kids is not to try and like condition them into some idea of who we think they should be, but see the perfection of who they are, so that whenever they look into your eyes, they see the mirror remembrance reminding them, you are soul, you are infinite, you are divine, you are whole, you are perfect, you are complete. That is the greatest gift you can give them. The challenge is, as parents, you can't really do that if you aren't remembering who you are yourself. So one of the greatest gifts we can give our children is not simply what we do. One of the greatest gifts we can give our children is to heal our own mental, emotional traumas and baggages, so that we can be clear and reflect that clarity to them. Because what I have found is many times your children will unconsciously act out, play out your unresolved issues. And so the greatest gift you can give your kids is not like forcing them to be something, but is to clear your own shit, so you can be a clear space of love, reflect the perfection back to them, so that in your presence, they're reminded of that perfection, that stays alive and activated. Then that intelligence in them, like there's an intelligence in you that if you eat lunch or breakfast, it knows how to digest itself, right? You don't have to go, oh, digest, control my digestion. It knows how to digest. There is an intelligence that also knows how to fulfill itself to your kids. Obviously, you have to provide, a house and give them food and clothing and basic structure. But I believe that their souls don't just belong to you. Their souls belong to the universe. And so the more you provide that space and reflect back to them who they are, you provide the opportunity for the soul's intelligence, truly, not conditioned version, the soul's intelligence to blossom, how it needs to blossom, in the way it needs to blossom, that might even surprise you as a parent. You can affirm their perfection. I see you. I see your soul. I see you perfect. I believe in you. And just remind them of that. Because the world is constantly reinforcing what they're not. You're not enough. The greatest lie that we are walking around that is a program in our consciousness is, you are not enough. That creates a deep shame inside. You're not enough. And media preys on that idea that you're not enough. But hey, you just buy this iPhone, you're gonna be enough. Hey, you just wear, you wear these underpants, you're gonna be enough. You buy these socks, you're gonna be great. You drive this car, you're gonna be great. And it's not true. And so I think we have to wake up to that. And so the greatest gift you can give is, I see who you are.